all new today. They barely knew each other.
You got married in 8 weeks. You married strangers.
Now,
he stole from you.
He gambled all the money, but he says he loves me.
Oh, he lovingly took all of your money?
is the honeymoon over?
These are text messages from Bridget. Do you know anybody named Bridget?
No.
No wonder you lose money gambling. You don't have a good poker face. Okay, I want you to imagine marrying a man after knowing him for just 8 weeks. That's 56 days. And by the way, he was 54 and had never been married. Well, in the year and a half since they married, Frank has moved out 5 times. He even asked for the marriage to be annulled on their honeymoon. And now he's secretly taping her during their fights to prove to people how crazy she is.
You can't hold me against my will. Move out of my way. Do I need to tell the police this? That you ain't keeping me in my room?
Police for what?
Get out of my way.
Okay, Dana says after being with Frank, it's just like raising a 4th child.
Frank loves to act like a baby. Frank whines and pouts like a little child.
Charming. Frank says Dana is the one who is insane and absolute hell to live with. There are screaming matches all the time and 911 calls being made by Dana's 14-year-old daughter.
Kimberly 681.
My stepdad just hit my mom. She's trying to kick him out and he won't leave. They're crying. Stop it! Oh my God, he's yelling at me. Hang on. Hello?
Yes, are there any other kids besides your daughter?
2 children here and my husband is violent. Please.
Yes, ma'am, they're coming.
All right, bye-bye.
Ma'am, I'm not done talking to you.
Well, of course, come on, alarm bells should have gone off on their wedding night. Take a look.
When I first met Dana, I believed that she was my soulmate.
Frank was obsessed with marriage. It should have been a warning to me.
Dana wanted to get married right away.
On the night of our honeymoon, I realized we had a real problem. He looked at me and he said, "Can we change this?" He wanted out.
I asked Dana for an annulment. She was cursing me out, belittling me, screaming.
He could have just punched me in the stomach. I had a complete meltdown and just broke down and cried and cried and cried.
So my new marriage, it got off to a very, very rocky start.
A few months after our wedding, I discovered that Frank had a serious gambling problem.
Dealt with it for 24 years. Went through a rehab, refrained from it for months. Kind of fell back into it once we started having all these problems.
The money that was in my checking account was gone, and the money that was in my children's savings accounts was also gone.
There's times I blow $1,000, $1,500.
Frank admitted that he'd hacked into my account without my permission, and he gambled all the money. I was a single mother with 3 children, saving money, and for him to just wipe it out all at one time was outrageous.
I'm back to in the full phase of the gambling addiction again. Dana just doesn't understand that gambling is a disease. I've learned the effects are similar to someone that's high on cocaine.
Well, not good, right? Well, things actually went from bad to a lot worse.
Frank paints me as a verbally abusive, crazy, lunatic woman who needs all of this intense psychotherapy.
Dana blames me for just about everything and threatens to divorce me almost every time we get in an argument.
His favorite thing to say to me is, "You're so up. Your dad you up, your mom you up, and now I'm paying the price for it," like he's the victim. One of Frank's favorite things to do is to hold me hostage. He will get in front of the door, and he will not let me leave.
Get out of my way. Move.
Frank has been physically abusive. He's slapped me, grabbed me, destroyed my property. He'll hold up his fist and he'll say, "If you were a man, I would knock you out. I'd knock you out."
I have never physically abused Dana.
Frank has been arrested for domestic violence twice.
The first one was for simple battery, and the second one was for disturbing the peace and breaking her phone.
The second time, we were in a heated debate, and I thought that pulling his toupee off of his head would calm him down.
She snatched my hairpiece off, shoved it down her shirt, okay, and threatened to throw it in the canal.
He grabbed me really hard. I had to go to the hospital because of the damage that he did to my arm.
I'm real angry about it. I had to go to jail twice. I had to go to 29 weeks of anger management classes. I'm about to throw in the towel because nobody's calling her out on her. I'm tired of being the punching bag.
He should be on his knees thanking God that he still has another chance in this family.
Okay, I've got to ask you first, because there aren't a lot of you in captivity. You got to 56 years of age without ever marrying.
54.
54.
Mm-hmm.
And then got married in 8 weeks. Bang.
Right, right.
That's, I mean, just commonsensically, I'm wondering why.
Well, when Dana and I met, we both felt the connection to each other. We met at a Christian.
8 weeks? So you say he pushed for the marriage, right?
He's very charismatic. He's very convincing. Let's get married. Let's get married. Let's get married. Okay, let's get married. Let's do it.
Well, I wasn't begging to get married. I told her I want to marry you. Okay, and she.
Well, who pushed for this marriage?
Tell the truth.
I'm telling the truth. Okay, I wanted to get married, but I didn't want it to be as fast as it was. She had a friend that's a pastor.
Stop. Tell the truth. Rewind. That's not true.
She called and, you know, kind of set it up.
She's calling you out and saying you're lying right now.
Tell the truth.
No, but I'm not lying.
Let's get married. Let's get married. Call him up. Call him up. Come on, let's see if they can do it this weekend. Call him up. So I said, okay, I'll call him. Okay.
I mean, it doesn't matter. No. I mean, because you're both crazy to do it. It doesn't matter who initiated it. I'm just curious which one of you was pushing. It really doesn't matter to me in terms of causation. I'm just curious.
Okay. Her mother, she would say her mama wouldn't like the idea of me staying there all the time. And, you know, if we're not married. And, you know, and one morning her mother came over and I was there and she's like, oh, did y'all get married? Or,
what are you talking about?
It was kind of like a push.
Is he lying?
Yes.
What, lying about what?
I've never heard this story before. My mom came over and she made us get married. Here's this man who can be so amazingly wonderful, talented, gifted, creative, generous.
Seriously, who were you just talking to?
Well, I thought there was an audience here.
Oh, so you're selling?
Okay. The audience isn't there. It's you and me.
How's this going so far?
Not well.
Do you know the term bait and switch?
Yes.
They show you one thing and sell you another. Did you bait and switch her?
I don't think I bait and switched her.
Because she says, without using a term, she says you bait and switched her. That you showed her, oh, this Mr. Loving, charismatic, loves old people, all of this stuff that she just thought was just terrific about you. And then she got you home, got you unwrapped, and went, what the hell is this? Did that happen?
No, I don't feel that happened.
So you didn't show her one thing, then give her another?
No.
Did he show you one thing, then give you another?
Yes. Yes.
Well, he didn't have much time to show you much of anything.
Correct. Correct. I own that. I take responsibility for that. I should have never done that.
But you think it was a bait and switch deal?
I think that Frank is definitely genuine when he says he loves me, he cares for us, and there are so many amazing qualities about him, which is why I fell in love. I do believe that that is sincere. However, there is another side to him that is the polar opposite of that man. I'm dealing with two separate identities.
Well, I'm starting to think maybe he has a point about you being a little wacky.
Yeah.
Because you're saying, oh, he's genuine. He lovingly hacked into your account and took all of your money.
I'm talking about
he lovingly throws you against the wall. He lovingly. Are you seriously?
No. What I'm saying is, when I met him and we fell in love so quickly, I believed all of those traits to be true about him. But there's, like I said, another side that has surfaced. It surfaced very quickly, and now I'm like, who am I dealing with?
Do you think you're married to a great guy or a lunatic?
A lunatic. who can be a great guy when he wants to be. I know. It's very confusing. Put yourself in my shoes, though. Here's this man who can be so amazingly wonderful, talented, gifted, creative, generous, blah, 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 blah.
Who are you
and then when he
talking
gets
to?
mad, he's in
Who are you talking to? Seriously, who were you just talking to?
Well, I thought there was an audience here.
Oh, so you're selling this to the audience. That's significant. I'm not just being a smartass. I'm serious.
I'm trying to be engaging, okay?
In what way?
So that I'm speaking to you and the audience as well. This is a live show. Okay, the audience isn't there. It's you and me. We can do that.
You don't take criticism well, do you?
I didn't think you were criticizing me.
Yeah?
No,
How's this going so far?
not well.
Why do you think that is?
Not sure. You're the expert.
No, I'm asking you.
I don't know.
Is this the man you intended to spend the rest of your life with, or is this somebody very different?
Very different.
Is this the woman you intended to spend your life with, or is it someone very different?
Someone different.
Has she been a trigger for you?
Yes.
Has she brought out bad things in you?
Yes.
And that wasn't your intention.
No.
Well, here's how this started. Okay, y'all knew each other for 56 days. And then you had a pop-up family. You're like one of those books you open, it's got a little pop-up family in there. You all of a sudden, you've got a wife, you've got 3 children, teenagers, after 56 days.
Right.
Yeah, what could go wrong there? And then so you have these characteristics that when you're under stress, then you like gamble and that sort of thing. So that you say you're back to full-blown gamble, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You call it a gambling addiction. I don't think it's an addiction. It's a disorder. But you're back to that now.
Yes.
Do you think he's gambling now, or do you think he's at least got that under control for the moment?
We don't discuss it. He may have it under control for the moment, but I don't know for
Are you
sure.
gambling?
Been a few weeks, but yes.
So you actively are gambling
Yes.
right now,
Yes.
unbeknownst to her.
Yes.
And where are you getting that money?
Well, I work for it, but then I blow it, and then I got to borrow it.
And you didn't know this, that he's actively gambling and borrowing money and all right now? Where do you think he is?
At work.
So you think he's at work when he's doing it? Okay, Dana says Frank hacked into her business accounts. He took some of your money, right? Substantial amount?
A few hundred, about 1,000, 1,200, something like that.
It matters, right?
Yes, of course.
That's a lot of lunches and
yes.
kids and stuff like that. Did that bother you?
Yes, and I put it back the next day, the whole amount. It was $800.
Okay. He stole from you. Do you deserve that?
No.
Is that in any way acceptable or okay to you?
No, it's not.
Because it should not be. You're exactly right to be offended about that. That is crossing the line. He's stealing money from your children, essentially, is what he's doing, right? Because that's where that money goes. She says he's held her hostage and that he got her fired from her job. Not just a job, the job, a job she really valued, that she really liked. She says he has also impersonated people to try to get her back after they have a breakup. I'm not sure how you do that. We'll talk more about Frank and how he went from what she says was a dream date to disaster when we come back.
Frank has secretly videotaped me and audio taped me without my knowledge.
Yes, I did record Dana. Dana, time out.
Frank is very sneaky and conniving. Frank has secretly videotaped me and audio taped me without my knowledge when we're having an argument.
No, it doesn't bother you when you hurt me. It doesn't even bother you.
Dana, time out. Yes, I did record Dana because I wanted to have proof that she behaves badly too.
I would get texts saying, "Are you Frank's wife? He's been in an accident." him playing a prank on me.
What could you have possibly done to deserve him doing that?
I don't know, but especially seeing it all like this, like, whoa.
It
really
is.
Has been a lot, because I tend to forgive and move on, and I don't meditate in my misery. I don't meditate and dwell on a lot of things, so it's, you know, I don't keep those things in the forefront of my mind. But now that we're addressing all of them at one time, really, like, what is wrong with me?
Let's take a look at this. These are fake text messages from Bridget. You're in the white, right? You're Bridget.
I've never seen this before.
So you didn't do this?
No, I didn't do this.
So you didn't text her and say, hello, did anyone contact you about an accident?
She said something about this, and I said, I don't know what you're talking about. She had sent me a text message just as a couple of months ago, whenever it was, and I said, I don't know what you're talking about.
Whose phone did it come from?
I don't know. I never could figure out who it was. But he's done this before. This is the second time we've had an episode like this.
Did you send this message?
No.
Why did you shake your head yes when you said no? I just said, did you send this message? And you said no.
Just like saying no.
No, that would be no.
Oh,
And you said no. Hey, look, here's the thing. I can't help y'all if you don't tell me the truth.
right, I understand.
And this is, hello, yes. Did anyone contact you about the accident? No. Who is this? Well, my name is Bridget. Got your number from his phone. Accident involving your husband. Dana, call me. Bridget, well, this phone can only text. Crummy phone. Think brought to Ochsner. That's hospital?
Yeah.
What happened? And how did you get his phone? Fire squad rescue. Where? How did you get his phone? May want to call Ochsner. How did you get this phone? From the scene. Only to search for contact. Well, when did this happen? Around 9:30. Okay. Is he alive? He's not at Ochsner. Hello? Hello? You don't know anything about that. You don't know anything about that.
No, I don't.
Who? If you didn't do it, who did it?
I have no idea.
Do you know anybody named Bridget?
No.
You think he sent it?
Yes. Yes.
Why do you think so?
Because he's done that before.
How
He has
so?
done that before. I got a message saying, are you Frank's wife? There's been a bad accident. And then I didn't hear anything, and I got really nervous. I called all the hospitals. I called his family, friends that I knew. No one had heard from him. They were all worried. And then the next day, I think it was his sister who said, oh, I just got off the phone with him. He's fine. He was just mad, or whatever.
Okay, did you do that one?
Yes. Yes. I just wrote there was a bad accident.
You did that one, but you didn't do this one.
I just wrote there was a bad accident.
No wonder you lose money gambling. You don't have a good poker face. You sent the other one about a fake accident, but you didn't send this one. You sent that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Thank you for that. Because we can't fix it if we don't acknowledge it.
Well, the night that it had happened, I had seen him the next day, and I said, so I hope you enjoyed your little prank. What prank? I don't know what you're talking about. And I just dropped it. Why even waste my time and energy? I know he sent it. He knows he sent it. I'm not going to waste any energy proving it. We know.
Okay. Why did you decide to lie about it?
Well, because I had said that I didn't do it before, and, it wasn't the right thing. I should have just said it,
Yeah.
I know your investigations always prove something, so I should have just been honest right up front.
Yeah, I knew you sent it, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I know you can detect body language, too, and when someone's lying.
Yeah, you think?
I know that. You know, that's when no. Yeah. Uh-oh, caught.
Have you gotten physical with her?
I mean, I haven't punched her. Or...
Have you attacked women before?
Yeah, I've had a problem in the past with that.
Did you know that?
No. My girls get really frustrated with Frank, especially when they see him throwing a fit or whining or when he'll talk bad about me to them.
No, for Dana to go behind my back and talk bad about me, that's totally wrong. That's not right at all. With Dana's kids disrespecting me, I feel isolated in my own home, which I don't even feel is my home because it's been drilled into my head that this is her house.
Frank claims that the children don't respect him, they don't admire him. However, it's very difficult for 3 children to respect someone who is continually talking bad about their mother. Frank has used the children like his therapist, taking them out and then making it a time to complain about his marriage and, oh, your mom is so crazy. It's incredibly disrespectful.
She's called the police on you before.
Yes.
Because he got physical with you, right?
Yes.
Have you gotten physical with her?
Yeah, but not in a violent physical. You know, I mean, what I'm saying, I mean, I didn't, I haven't punched her.
Because he didn't punch me, it's not violent. It's not.
No, but I have grabbed her by her arm. You know, you stop. I'm telling you, it's usually, would you calm down? Would you please calm down? Because she does have this different mood completely.
But she brings that out in you. You made it 54 years without being that way, other than the gambling, right?
Oh, no. I mean, I've had my anger problems. Yes, I have.
Have you attacked women before?
No, I've had a problem in the past with that.
Mm-hmm. Did you know that?
No.
No.
You didn't know that he had attacked women before?
No.
That didn't come up in the 56 days?
Yeah.
That y'all were vetting each other?
I know. No, it did not.
The victim stated that he grabbed her by the throat, that he threw her to the ground, that he smashed her head against the floor, put her head through the wall, and shoved his fist down her throat.
Wow. Really?
Which is what the police report says. I'm not saying he agrees with that. That's what the police report says, right? Is that what happened?
No. But it's not what happened.
Right. There was another incident. She says he spit in her face. Mm-hmm. He says he came to her residence, gave her a 20-page letter making comments about her lifestyle and that God is going to deal with her. He since sent her another letter, mentions her child several times, and asked her, what would it be like to lose your child? Seemed to me to...
Can I comment on
yes,
this?
Please.
Okay. Her and I had a relationship, and the comment about how would you feel to lose a child was meant to be, I lost a child. How would you feel if you lost a child? It wasn't a threat to her child. It's been taken out of context.
You grabbed her by the throat, threw her to the ground, smashed her head to the floor, put her head through the wall. It said that you would put her head through the wall and shove your fist down her throat.
Yeah. Well, when the cops came over, the thing is, I had told her it was time to move out, okay? And I left the apartment, okay? And I came back an hour later, and they had the police there. And I got out of the car, like, what's going on? And I'm walking up to the apartment door, and her brother comes running up behind me, and I didn't see him, but the cops seen him, and he just hit a crowbar, was going to knock me over the head, and stumbled, and next thing you know, they arrested him, and I'm like, what is going on? Are you Frank? Yeah, I'm Frank. And they arrest me. And I'm like, look at her. She doesn't have a mark on her. Look, I didn't do anything. And I didn't do anything at that time.
You have had to involve the police on 2 occasions in the past. So what do we know so far? Just the things that you agreed to. He says that he has a gambling problem. He's hacked into your accounts and stolen money from you and your children. He's borrowed money from other people and created debt and lied to you about that.
Taken money out of the business account and drained it and put it in a hole.
He's attacked you on at least 2 occasions that involve the police. He's sent you fake text messages saying he's been severely hurt and all of that. This is the kind of things that don't come up in 8 weeks. You know, I mean, they don't come up in a short period of time. I mean, hell, I could be charming for 8 weeks. Let's just take a break. Dana does have daughters. I mean, they're lovely. They're just charming. I want to hear what they have to say about their mother's relationship with Frank. Do they think Mom made a good decision? How do they feel about Frank living in the house when they barely knew him? And are they treating him fairly? We'll be right back.
When my mom first started dating Frank, I was really optimistic because I really hoped that maybe I would finally get to have that perfect life, the married family that everyone else does.
At first, he was a perfect guy, but then they got married and he completely changed. They'd fight, he would yell. He uses a lot of like vulgar language that I don't like to hear. And he's hit my mom before, so I have really no respect for him.
That's not normal. She's never been hit by a man except for him. It's just become a nightmare. Frank has turned into this monster that I didn't even know existed.
Well, Helena, Lauren, and Heidi, right? I kind of have a couple of rules that I follow when it comes to do with kids, and 2 of my rules are I don't ever hold kids responsible for things that they don't have any influence over.
Correct.
And number 2, don't involve them in adult issues. And I'm not here to involve you in this. You're involved in it, and I'm trying to get you extracted from that. So this is between them, not between y'all, but this has an effect on you, Helena, correct?
Yes.
And what is that effect?
I feel like I'm helpless and I want to help my mom, but I don't know how because I want her to be happy, but I see that this marriage is just turning bad so quickly. And I want them to get help because I really want them to work out.
You said one thing that really jumped out to me. I wrote it down. It's a quote. Helena said, quote, "I feel like I'm smarter than older people because even I know no one gets married after 2 months. That's insane." Out of the mouths of babes, right? Why do you think that's insane?
You haven't had time to see them in their natural behaviors when they're not putting on a front for you like people first do when they're dating.
In Frank's defense, and God knows you need one, walking into a pop-up family with 4 women and going from being single to all of a sudden you're in a house with 4 women, that's nearly impossible. You took a real steep hill to climb. Lauren, it has been chaotic, right?
Yes.
In fact, you called 911.
Yes.
And what did you say?
My mom and Frank were fighting, and he got mad at her, and he actually hit her. So, of course, she told me to call 911, so I called. And I said my stepdad hit my mom. And they came, and they talked to him, and then they talked to her, and then he left.
You said your mom was bleeding from his ring.
His ring cut her right here, and she was bleeding.
Heidi, how old are you?
11.
Yeah. See, you shouldn't be having to be involved in all of this. What do you say to yourself about all this when you're alone?
I just wonder, like, if their marriage is a good thing, like, if it was really a good thing that they even met in the first place.
Mm-hmm. What do y'all want to see happen here?
I think Frank can be a really great man, and I do love having him in my life, and I would really like to see the 2 of them work this out like adults without bringing us into this. I'd like to see them talk about it, get whatever help they need, because I do think Frank and my mom are a very good pair together when they're both on the same page.
What you guys want is the good Frank. You want the bad Frank to pack up and leave.
Yeah.
I think you are incredibly generous in spirit, the three of you. I think they are. I think it's a nice thing. And congratulations to you, because you have obviously done an exceptional job of raising these three young ladies. And one of the questions you had for me was, are you perhaps being a bad role model by being in this situation and all of that? And I want to talk to you about that in a few minutes. Okay. But you, just parent to parent, well done. Well done with these three girls. Really well done. When we come back, should Frank and Dana stay together? What's Dana's mom got to say about this? And what I want to say to both of them, I'm going to put some verbs in my sentences, and I'm going to excuse these three young ladies because it's time that we get down to it and have some very adult conversation. We'll be right back. Well, Linda, Dana's mom, has witnessed a lot of what's gone on firsthand, and I asked her to pop in just quickly. She's joining us on Polycom. Linda, thank you so much for joining us. We've just spoken with your granddaughters, delightful and beautiful young women. I'm sure you're very proud of them as well. Very proud. But you Extremely proud. But you are concerned about what they're being exposed to, correct?
Absolutely, I am. The message that Frank and Dana have been sending to these girls is that abuse is okay. It's okay. That all of the drama displayed in front of them is acceptable.
Right.
I believe that these kids need to have a stable home. They need to have a role model. They need to know that they're safe.
I would like for you to listen to what I say to them and tell me if you think that it makes sense, because I have a lot of respect for you, and I want you to hear what we have to say here. Look, guys, yeah, I was in private practice for a long time. You know, I mean, years and years. And I've often said I was probably the worst marriage counselor in the history of the world, because couples would come in and start bitching at each other, and I would sit there, and after like 10 minutes I'd say, my God, no wonder you can't get along. I can't stand either one of you. You know, get out. I don't want to listen to this. But the truth is, I take marriage very, very seriously. I was talking to the audience before you all come out. Robin and I have been married for 38 years. And my parents were married for 50 years before my dad passed away, and their parents were married for like 60 years. But I take it very seriously. I really do. Having said that, this was an ill-advised union. This was an ill-advised union for both of you. You were dead before you started. I mean, even if you didn't bring some of the things to the relationship that you had a steep hill to climb. Now, true, you brought a lot of baggage with you that you need to get rid of, but that's a steep hill to climb. You guys got married before you really knew each other, and there's a difference between falling in love and being in love. And falling in love is exciting and fun, and, you know, it's all of that lust and fun and all of that kind of stuff. But then you get into what I call the damn dailies, where, you know, I often said, if you haven't seen them with the flu, you should never marry them. Because you kind of got to, you know, you kind of got to see them. Now, can this relationship work? Do you want this to work?
Yes.
Or would you rather just hit the reset button and get the hell out of here?
No, I would.
Marriage-wise, I mean, I know you'd rather get out of here, but I mean marriage-wise. You'd like it to work out.
Yes.
And how about you? At this point, you're not at all sure, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm pretty numb.
Yeah, because you've learned a lot of stuff today.
Yeah.
But you needed to know it, right?
Yeah, of course.
First off, I think you need to not be together right now. And if that's a hardship, I'm sorry. You do not need to be living under the same roof right now. You know what you need to do? You need to go through premarital counseling. You need to find out everything there is to know about one another. And, Frank, you have some problems, personal problems. You say you have a gambling addiction. I'd like to call it a disorder because I think of addiction as physiological in nature, but that's semantics. You do have a gambling problem. I think you have an impulse control problem, which is kind of dovetails with that. And I think you have an anger problem, a rage problem that comes from frustration. And somebody needs to stop criticizing you and start helping you and help you figure out what it is that you are so balled up about inside. And I want to offer to do that for you. I want to get you, just as our gift to you, some very personal help to help you work out some of those things. So if, in fact, there is a chance for this union, you can come back with the good Frank, not the bad Frank. And you agree there's a bad Frank, right?
Yes.
You got a lot of baggage, right?
Yes.
She's not perfect. She's not flawless in this. She's called you a lot of names, and she gets up on her hind legs and gets to barking and all of that. And, you know, she's brought some baggage into this, too. Everybody does. I mean, come on. Nobody comes into it baggage-free. But you've got some toxic things going on that are going to kill any relationship. You need to figure this out. And if I arrange that for you, will you do that?
Yes.
I mean, and work on you. Because the good Frank is very charming. I like you in spite of yourself. I think you're a good guy. I just think you have some bad issues that can be resolved. And I'm not one that recommends separation very often. But you guys never knew each other to begin with. And so I want to get you some help to see if there is a basis for this relationship. Without that, you need to get a divorce before dark today.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
If you don't do that, you need to break this and get out. If you do that, then you've got a chance. And I'm just saying, give me a chance to do some work here with you guys, okay?
Okay.
Just, you got plenty of time to get a divorce. Hey, you got married in 8 weeks. Give me 8 weeks to try to unravel it, okay?
Okay.
And really give a chance to work with him. And after that, then come together and say, okay, now, let's see if we have the basis for a marriage. We can have some common values. We can do some things. And that's the kind of problem solving that you want to role model for these girls. Will you agree with that?
Yes, very much so. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you glad you came here?
Very glad. I am now. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Frank, I'm going to get you some help. You deserve it. Okay, guys? You know, we talked a little bit today about there being some physical things in this relationship. That should never happen. A man should never put his hands on a woman in anger, ever. I don't care what. Last year, my wife, Robin's Foundation, When Georgia Smiled, launched a very exciting program designed to stop domestic violence. It's called the Aspire Initiative. And it's an interactive curriculum, and it's set up for different age groups. And if you at home want to see the Aspire Initiative, just go to whengeorgiasmiled.org or drphil.com. Now, this is all free. And importantly, you can also visit iTunes or the Android App Store to download the free Aspire News app for your smartphone. It is a breakthrough in technology that could save your life with the push of the button the moment abuse is occurring. Robin, just describe the two big things that the go button does.
Oh, you press that go button and you send out pre-typed messages that you have pre-recorded to selected friends, and it even could be 911. Unless you're not ready to call the police, you can have pre-selected friends that the message will go to immediately. And that message can be whatever you want. It can say, come immediately and save me, come interrupt the action that's going on in my home. And also it starts recording what's going on right then in the room.
So This goes on the smartphone, and you notice we didn't show very much because it is disguised on the smartphone, and we don't want to show abusers what it looks like because it looks like every other little icon there. But just tap, 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 and it sends out to your neighbor, hey, come knock on the door or whatever. And moms, you might want your daughters to take that on a date. Things start getting a little funny. They just go tap, 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 and phone rings and mom's saying, get home right now. So it's all free. It is all free. So find those things. Use them in your life. I want to thank all of my guests today. We'll see you next time. So long.